Thanksgiving begins a very special time of the year for us. It's the time of peace and reflection, and of getting ready for the new year. One thing we should all be thankful for is that we live in America, where we have the freedom to change things and the opportunity to...
Welcome to the Drunk Turkey Show, starring Big Blue.
Okay, can I say hi, Kim?
Hi. Oh, I love you. You are just like a giant.
Lady Liberty just squirted in my face. And when you do drink with a straw, the myth is you get more drunk because you get more air mixed in.
Hi, Maggie.
Like, you know how the fans going like this? It goes, ooh, yeah. When it hits my butthole. Last time I went to Mexico, I stopped by a little stand and the lady had gloves. I was like, lady, take off those gloves. I need that shit.
It wasn't.
I'm drinking beer so you can feel good and like it tastes good. What the hell's the point of this?
And Daniel J.
I got a friend named Jonathan Martinez who's not allowed in the library. Yo puede hablar español cuando yo te mando. You look very handsome tonight, LJ.
Every day, it's an everyday thing. I gotta
wake up and piss his excellence.
Y'all watch them every Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. I get to see them every day. I get to see that. I get to see those cheeks every day. And what's on his face?
And the other ones.
3000, it still sucks. This is Philip J. Fry, and you're listening to the Drunken Turkey Show. Your one stop for this sort of thing. Hit that button, like and subscribe. You know what to do, just like every other podcast.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the Drunk Turkey Show. Sorry we're running a tad bit late. Big Blue was showing us his cheeks again. But today we're talking about the Flash. How you guys doing? How's it going, Hyman?
I'm good. Just got off for lunch, so need to eat later.
Yeah, nice. Big Blue, how are you doing, man? You look very sprite today.
Yeah, man. I went out for lunch too myself. I got some churches tried out their shrimp today, so today's one of the Fridays you don't eat red meat in my religion. So.
Oh, dang, man. I forgot about that.
Not sponsored, by the way.
Well, I'll keep my lunch to myself, guys. So today, welcome everybody in the live chat. Thank you for jumping in on an early show. We're gonna do two today. This afternoon we'll be talking about the Flash, Ezra Miller, possible replacements, what he's done, things like that. And then this evening, stay tuned because get back on the true crime avenue. We're going to be talking about Buster Murdaugh, Stephen Smith, and a new case of a missing person that they're still looking for. And so at this point, stay tuned, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Well, first and foremost, it's expected that the Flash movie is supposed to be coming out this summer. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So before we get into the allegations and what, has happened with Ezra Miller, the actor who portrays Barry Allen in The Flash, in the DCU version of The Flash, do you think, just with what you've heard, he's been arrested a few times. He's had some trouble with the law. He's got some accusations from some parents.
Yeah.
Are you surprised, first and foremost, that DC is moving forward with this project?
Yeah, man. Very surprised. There's other actors that have done nothing even close to what this certain celebrity has done, and they've been canceled. They lost their jobs. They lost, a lot of money, a lot of parts, a lot of, acting roles.
Right. No, for sure. What about you, Big Blue? What are your thoughts on the fact that they're going to go forward with this movie?
Yeah, man, I think the way he's done a lot more worse than Johnny Depp did. And Johnny Depp got canceled way faster than he has, It might be, and I thought DC was Marvel was part of Disney, right? Marvel. Yeah.
Marvel's, I'm not sure, man.
I think it is Marvel, yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, because Disney has, was it?
Yeah. No, it is because they have that Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Y'all may not know, but I know who he's talking about. What's his name? The one where there's a fox in there, I think, right? Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians.
Yeah. Were you thinking that movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a movie. See, I told y'all. You don't get that chemistry.
Rocket, right? That's his name, Rocket.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't get that chemistry without knowing each other for a long time. And so, definitely Marvel's DC. So let's talk about some of these allegations. Let's look at the last couple of years of this actor. And for those that don't know who he is, we have a new member. Thank you so much. I'll put that up on the screen right now. Oh, snap, I took it off. Thank you, Justin Oki. We appreciate your membership. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So this all started pretty much on April 6, 2020. Video surfaces of Miller throwing a woman to the ground in a bar in Iceland, right? Yeah. I think I have that clip. Let me pull that up real quick. It's pretty messed up, to be honest with you. And so I'll put the I'll have it play with the sound. Did y'all hear the sound on that? Oh man, I played it without the sound. All right, hold on, give me a sec.
Learn it? Did you want to fight? Is that the deal? Whoa, bro. Fight? Learn it? Did you want to fight? Is that the deal? Whoa, bro. Fight? Learn it? Did you want to fight? Is that the deal? Whoa, bro. Fight?
Pretty crazy thing there, man. Like, kind of, she looked surprised. I don't think she was going along with it, obviously. I think she was like, what the hell's going on? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think she asked for a selfie or a picture or something like that.
Right.
And then like, I don't know, maybe I think that from what I heard, he took offense to something.
Mm-hmm.
And then he proceeded to like pretty much assault her.
Yeah, I mean, she looked at first like she was smiling, but then maybe it looks like he's pretty intoxicated the way he sounds, and he went a little overboard.
I think he sounds like that all the time.
A little overboard, Blue. He grabbed her by the throat, threw up against a dumpster. You could hear the impact, the boom of the dumpster, and then throws her onto the ground. Now, it doesn't look like the most vicious throw to the ground.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He looked like he assisted, like he was grabbing her by the throat, but like he didn't like just, and she wasn't screaming or anything. She sounded more confused by the situation.
Yeah,
right?
Definitely.
And he was wearing chanclas. Somebody asked if he was wearing chanclas.
Yeah, he definitely was. It was it's not representing for the Chancla Academy. It was not a good look, right? And the thing is, he continues to do these things, and that's just the tip of the iceberg, right?
Yeah.
Some of the things that he's been accused of, including grooming children. Yeah. And so, in March 28th of 2022, he's arrested in Hawaii. And during that arrest, he grabbed the microphone of a 23-year-old woman singing karaoke, which that is not karaoke etiquette. You do not grab the microphone out of somebody while they're conducting, the performance of their lifetime. You know what I'm saying? And so 23-year-old conducting a singing performance. He takes the microphone out. Whoa, I hear myself. All right, went away. All right, so then Miller then lunged at a 32-year-old man and failed to calm down after being asked several times by the bar owner. Miller interactions with two bar patrons earned them disorderly conduct and charge for harassment. But they were released from custody after posting a $500 bail. A police body cam footage of the arrest shows some. Let's watch this, man. Let's pull this up.
Right up to me and just like
He started shouting.
no. I know who spit on me.
Okay, so he spit in your face.
Two. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, what's up, cuz?
Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah.
And then I
Example.
jumped in and helped him
That's
out.
pretty blurry, man.
Yeah.
You
So
know
he
what?
spit in your face for no reason.
No, I know, but
I
this
was
is
like, way across the room.
Yeah.
this is the
I feel like he
victim.
thought he
They're
was
blurring it out on
something
purpose.
No. I got assaulted and I started filming. Let me show you the video.
Let's talk stories outside.
Let's stop story outside.
Ezra Miller, this is on the warrants, but he's caution code unstable 29 location.
I'm assaulted in this bar twice in a row. I film myself when I get assaulted for NFT crypto art. What's your name? What's your badge number? Tell me your name and your badge number. White key.
Ezra.
Full name, full badge number. Tell me your name and your badge number. Tell me your name and your badge number. Please don't touch me. Tell me your name and your badge number. Now. Tell me your name and your badge number now.
136.
You.
Get off the road.
Central 131.
I'm being arrested for disorderly conduct.
Yeah.
I was assaulted. You understand, right?
Okay.
Well, you could have told us that instead of running away and playing all of these theatrics. You could have just told us
I'm
that.
sorry.
No, you're not
officer.
sorry. You could have took
I am
anything
sorry.
real quick. But
I
no,
am sorry.
you wanted to play the game.
I was
and now-
complying.
Well, you wasn't complying.
I was. You said get off the road. I got off the road.
No, you didn't.
I did.
No, you
I
never.
walked on the edge of the road.
Central 131
So what did I do wrong?
Getting arrested for
You
disorderly spit in somebody's
Okay, a
face.
guy in that bar declared himself as a Nazi. I have it on film, and he attacked me.
Okay, so
I claim my 9th Amendment rights to not be unlawfully persecuted for a crime of no designation, disorderly conduct being something I am unguilty of. I claim my 4th Amendment rights to not be searched and seized on no probable cause that you will not be able to offer in a court of law. I claim my 4th Amendment rights to not be searched and seized. Please do not touch my ring.
Yes, come on.
Okay.
You'll get it right
My
after.
4th Amendment
Sir,
rights
sir,
to
it's
not
gonna be
have
right
search
here,
and
okay?
seizure
We're just letting you know it's gonna be right here.
unlawfully without probable cause. I claim my 4th Amendment rights to not be unlawful. Hey, you just touched my penis. Please don't do that. I'm not transgender, non-binary. I don't want to be searched by a man. I'm transgender, non-binary, and I don't want to be searched by a man. I claim my 4th Amendment rights. Those are Nerf guns, just in case you worry that they're bullets. Those are Nerf bullets.
Thank you for letting
They
me
are fake and they are a toy.
Thank you for
This
letting
is
me
my belt
know.
buckle and my Nerf bullets.
I appreciate that.
Please don't take them from me. The flash ring means a lot to me.
All right. So I think he would have preferred it to have been stayed blurry. To be honest with you guys, that's something else. Definitely under the influence of at least alcohol, if not more.
Yeah.
Man, he looks more like the Joker than he does the Flash. What do you guys think?
Yeah, but he looked like a mess right there. He's all over the place. Was he carrying a Nerf gun around?
Yeah.
He had a Nerf gun with Nerf bullets.
Yeah.
I mean, my goodness.
He had his, I think, strapped to his ankle or something. That was kind of weird. They had a weird strap around it.
Yeah, and this is all like, is this during or I mean, was this before the filming of the movie?
No, this was in 2022.
I said March 2022.
Yeah, I think the film was. When was it filmed?
Well, it was filmed in
21.
21. Yeah, but it got held off because of these incidents, right?
Yeah, it was this incident. It was that one, and then there was some even more like crazy accusations of grooming.
Yeah, because I remember I think the first time he got, I don't know if he got arrested, but I think he got he had possession of marijuana on him, right?
Right. That was one of the
way
first
before, right?
Yeah, which I don't think that's a big deal.
Yeah, but like when they started filming that other video that we watched, that one came up, and then this happened, and that's why I think they held out on the movie until this year. I think they were going through the whole process of like trying to make a decision on whether to keep him in the movie because they're already so far in money wise,
right?
Or discard it and just get a new actor to come in and take his spot.
Exactly.
I just discarded.
The problem with that is they would basically have to redo the entire movie. I think I was listening in on a couple of other folks talking about the podcast, and that the movie was basically complete, and the fact that Miller was in pretty much every scene.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so it would be like basically scrapping a completed movie that they expected to have made millions, if not, hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue. But they've decided to move forward, right? But let's talk about the most serious of accusations, right?
Yeah.
And so this comes from, and I'll pull this up. This is actually from Vanity Fair. And this is referencing Ezra Miller has now been accused of grooming minors and leading a cult, right? So this is one of his art displays of himself. And so, according to Insider, Sarah Jumping Eagle and Chase Iron Eyes allege in court documents that their 18-year-old Takeda was verbally and physically abused by Miller after being groomed by the actor for 6 years. So if this is coming forth while she's 18, it's, we can assume that she was 12 when this started to occur.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah. Right. And so Takeda's parents say that Miller first met Takeda in 2016 when she was just 12 years old, when all four were involved in a fight against the Dakota Access Pipeline. Miller kept tabs on Dakota over the years, the parents allege, later flying the then 14-year-old to London premiere of their movie Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, and encouraging her musical aspirations. And so I'm assuming she was in this movie. I haven't seen it. Have you guys?
No.
I mean, I've seen the movie, but I don't remember who the actor is.
Yeah.
All right. And so the other big concern is the fact that the parents would allow their 14-year-old to fly with, at the time, I'm assuming he's probably 27, 28-year-old, 25, I think is what he was when he first met her when she was 12, something like that.
I think he was 25. I believe so.
Right. And so that's pretty crazy. All right, let's continue to read this. But in June, Takada's parents were obtaining a temporary protective order requesting that Miller be kept away from their child. In a tribal court documents, the parents, who are members of the Lakota Nation in North Dakota and South Dakota, state that the actor had been abusive toward their daughter over the years. They allege that Miller attempted to sleep in the same bed as Takada when she was 14. Insider also spoke with someone who alleged saw Miller having sex with Takada in December 2021. Takada denied claims to Insider, calling the latter so very false. So in December 2021, she's barely 18 now at this time, so she was probably 17, 16 years old at the time.
Yeah.
Right. And he's well over 20, I think almost close to 30 at that point. And so some pretty questionable stuff, right? In January, Miller and guests at the actor's Vermont compound told Takeda's parents that their daughter was incapacitated after taking LSD. When Jumping Eagle and Iron Eye saw Takada, they told Insider she was incoherent, without a phone or ID, and had bruises on her arm and left cheek. After a few weeks with her parents, Takada would reconnect with Miller, leading to her parents' legal action. On June 7th, the tribal court said it could not locate or serve Miller and demand they appear in person. On July 12th, the day the judge later closed the case to the public, according to Insider. Dakota told the outlet that her parents' allegations against Miller were disgusting and irresponsible, smear campaign against Miller, that the actor in multiple cases has done the right thing and stood in protection of others. Days after Dakota's LSD experience in February, Miller allegedly met a mother who remains anonymous in the piece, and her then 11-year-old child, who, like Miller, identifies as non-binary, through mutual friends. So before we move forward with that, because that one also is pretty crazy, right? There were friends of Miller who saw him and Takata on the bed having intercourse while she was a minor. It wasn't just some random person, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, it's not like rumors. It's like firsthand witnesses. Right?
Yeah, the witnesses.
Exactly. So, a lot of terrifying things here. Apparently, this started when they were young. I've seen other, articles and things. I'm not sure if it's going to come out in here, but that he would give people. I think he would get like an Airbnb, give people LSD. They would get in a trance and be some sort of like hypnotized session or something like that. That's from what I understood. All completely allegedly. I'm not saying any of that is confirmed or true. Just what I've seen in different articles and things about this when I was researching for today's show.
And that would explain that bar scene, man. If he was on LSD and he acted that way, like out of nowhere.
Yeah.
He kind of was hallucinating or something.
Didn't was it the 17-year-old come out and say that she said right there that it was all a lie or whatever, that the parents were just speaking for her, right?
Correct.
And she like pretty much backs him up 100%. You think that's like a Stockholm syndrome kind of thing?
Oh, definitely, especially if he's has her pumped up on hallucinogens.
Yeah, because she said that he will protect others, right? But yet he's the one giving her drugs,
right?
So like that kind of like contradicts itself, right?
Right, and then the friends talk about when it mentions the bruising and the phone missing, it doesn't go into great detail. The detail of that incident was that the friends saw Miller yelling at her and take her phone away and say some things to her. And the reason why that is dangerous is because, by taking the phone away from this person, it prevents her from calling for help, right? And then they had the bruises and they saw the cuts and they felt that it appeared that she was a victim of domestic violence in that situation.
Yeah.
I think at that time she recently had just turned 18 once she started coming out with all these things, right? Defending him and stuff.
Yeah, I believe she has her own YouTube channel, right?
I believe so. So. Yeah. So, what's that, Big Blue?
I think she does have a YouTube channel. Yeah. Researched a little bit.
And so, the other issue that has come up about this serious situation is that he apparently is harboring a 25-year-old woman who has 3 children, who I think the state are looking to take custody away. Is that correct?
Is this in Vermont, right?
I think so. It's up where where he's from.
Yes, I think it was a. If I remember correctly, they mentioned it was like he has like a Vermont ranch out there.
Yeah.
I heard about that.
So this is what this is, I think, referencing. And it says, days after Dakota's LSD experience in February, Miller allegedly met a mother who remains anonymous in this piece, and her then 11-year-old child, who, like Miller, identifies as non-binary through mutual friends. Now, I think the reason why they're bringing up the 11-year-old child and they brought up Takata at 12 years old, and that's when he started grooming her. I think they're trying to piece together there's a potential pattern here with young ladies or adolescents, right? And so the mother told Insider that Miller showed an inappropriate interest in her child, commending her maturity, asking for her Instagram handle, and offering to pay for them to attend design school. And another encounter, the actor allegedly offered to buy the child horses. On June 15th, the now 12-year-old mother also granted temporary harassment protection order against Miller. And I read a little bit more into this. Apparently, it wasn't just like, he said that he offered to buy the child horses. It was more like he offered to buy the child horses to move in with him to leave her parents.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what there was more to that. It wasn't just that. Definitely. I thought this was the woman with the 3 children. I was wrong. This is a different one.
But
I
think that was later on.
That's going to come a little bit later. That's the sad part, is that there's more to it.
Yeah.
And so
it's not the only case that's been brought up against him. So
Right.
There's a pattern.
Oh man, there's a big word in here I'm not gonna be able to pronounce. All right, this says the piece also that's a smaller word I can't pronounce. Delves into Miller's whereabouts in 2020, where they became somewhat notorious in Iceland for their putrid stench and walking in frigid streets of Reykjavik barefoot. I'm not gonna say that word again. I think I got it. Revealing long, pointy toenails and what looked like an infected gash on one foot. According to the three of the insider sources, Miller reportedly convened a group of people at an Airbnb they rented in Reykjavik, suburb of Kopavagor. Oh man, I think I got it too.
In Iceland, somewhere in Iceland.
Yeah. With another visitor compared with the set of commune, she added, "It felt like everyone is hypnotized." Between Miller's makeshift commune, their monologues on spirituality and emotions outbursts, rumors began to circulate that in that place, that the star was running a cult. It kind of sounds like it. What do you think?
It sure sounds like it. Manson stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, if they would do a Manson remake, he would be the actor for it, man. He fits the part.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to be hiring him for any more roles anytime soon.
I know.
That's the thought. That's the thought, though, right? That they're going to stop with him.
I mean, they should. They should, but anything can happen nowadays. You know what I mean? Especially because, I mean, he's part of the LGBTQ plus community, so I don't know. I don't know how that's going to work out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're not firing him for his sexuality. They're firing him for his behavior.
Yeah, but he uses that as like almost like a
crutch.
Like a get out of jail free card. You know what I mean?
Well, he's been. The thing is, he's been kind of gotten a slap on the wrist for everything that he's done.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Regardless of anything, before he was using or utilizing that card, so to speak, he's been, getting slapped on the wrist. And so with the behavior that he's gotten and without the consequences, I mean, I don't understand why people don't expect for people's actions to continue to get worse without that consequence.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's been playing his way off of punishment for a while. So, I mean, someone with the kind of celebrity status he has, and he's young at that time. He was still young, and he had millions to his name. I'm sure he still does. You know what I mean? But like, in other words, like me as a peasant, I wouldn't be able to buy myself out of trouble.
No, I hear you, man. I hear you. I'm in the same boat, and this is in reference to that. What we were speaking about. This is Ezra Miller has been hosting a 25-year-old mother and her 3 young children at their Vermont farm, a living arrangement that worries the children's father, who has, as well as 2 others with knowledge of the situation. And this is from Rolling Stone. 2 sources with knowledge of the situation expressed concern to Rolling Stone that this is an unsafe environment for children, alleging there are unattended guns strewing around the home on the Miller's 96-acre property. One source, who like others requested anonymity for fear of retribution, recalled an instance where one of the children, a 1-year-old, allegedly picked up a loose bullet and put it in her mouth. But the mother, who, like the father, Rolling Stone is not naming, claims that Miller had helped her escape from a violent, abusive ex, and Miller helped me finally have a safe environment for me and my 3 very young children. Ezra's home ranch has been a healing haven for us, she tells Rolling Stone. There may have been firearms for self-defense purposes, and they are stored in part of the house that the children never go in. My kids are able to relax more into their healing because of for the safety and nurturing of Ezra has been providing for them. The mother and the children, age 1 to 5, have been living at the Miller's Stamford, Vermont farm since mid-April of last year. The actor met the woman in Hawaii, which Miller later had been visiting in March. The embattled actor, who is set to star in the Warner Brothers anticipated Flash, racked up a string of arrests while in Hawaii, causing an emergency meeting with studio executives about the future with the franchise. In the midst of the unfolding crisis, the children's father claims that Miller secured a flight out of Hawaii for the woman and her children allegedly without the father's knowledge. He claims he has not been able to see or speak to the children since their departure. I got a bad feeling in my stomach, the father says. I do not want to go get my kids. They mean the effing world to me. I do want to go get my kids. They mean the effing world to me. Representatives from Miller denied a response to comment. And I'm going to see if there's anything else in here that is just. There are two sources that allege there's been frequent and heavy marijuana use in front of the children. That it is a cannabis farm there. And so, what are your thoughts on this?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what would make a mother put their kids in that situation. You know what I mean? Especially if maybe she hasn't heard about the past incidents he's had, with the assaults and whatnot. But if that was the case, you'd think she's being almost bribed, being since he's a celebrity, has money, is being, she's being taken care of financially. Wow. You know what I mean? You think that's a good aspect to look at?
I mean, that's probably one aspect of it. I think the fact that he met her in Hawaii, and we saw some of the arrests that he had where it appeared that he was at least under the influence of alcohol. And, his actions may result in under the influence of other things. And if he had a cult-like setting, that perhaps maybe she was also under the influence of some of the similar intoxicants that, she's not in the proper mindset.
I would say that just for the fact that you're moving from Hawaii to Vermont, you know what I mean? I'll pick Hawaii. I'll stay in Hawaii.
Yeah, man, but Hawaii is not the best place to live at if you're not working, man.
Yeah, it's mostly military. Oh, they have a base, right? The base.
I was watching a report that there's a lot of the lower income Samoan and Hawaiian people moving to the States because they can't afford to live in Hawaii no more.
Yeah, I know. I heard that I heard it was super expensive just to buy groceries.
Yeah, McDonald's is $18 just for the cheapest meal they got. So
that's crazy. But I just the thing is that I don't understand is I get the concept of them keeping them in the movie that's coming out in the Flash, right? Because of the money wise, but I think most of the people that are gonna go see that movie is not gonna be because of him per se. It's probably gonna be more on going to watch because of Michael Keaton is gonna come back as Batman. You got different. Right. I mean, they're using pretty much it's like the Spider-Verse kind of thing. You know what I mean? Where they go through different
universes.
Yeah, so they're using that concept. So I think a lot of people are gonna go just for the nostalgia to see Michael Keaton back as Batman, which it's pretty cool. I saw the trailer and everything. I'm like, don't like the dude Ezra, but what am I seeing, Michael?
So are you saying that if that wasn't part of the plot, going back and seeing it, it was just a Flash movie, it had other things, and it wasn't Michael Keaton's Batman, would you have gone, or would you go?
Dude, I'm gonna tell you, I'm not gonna go pay for it. I'll probably watch it.
Here's one thing I don't get. The dad is talking to Rolling Stones. All he really has to do is first get a lawyer, because I'm pretty sure that you might put him on child support. Then there's a thing where he has to get visitation rights to be able to speak to his own children.
First I'm going to say is that he's been trying to remove the children from there. He's been in contact with the Vermont Department for Children and Families, and
CPS would have to investigate.
Yeah, that was further down in the article, but yeah, he's done all those things.
Okay.
I don't think he's going to be part of the Flash universe anymore after this movie. You know what I mean?
So,
I believe you were saying that there's a lot of rumors going around that there might be another actor in the crosshairs to take over Barry Allen's character.
Right. There's been a lot of speculation of that, and a lot of people are looking in this direction. The CWs, you know, Grant. I'm sorry if I pronounced this wrong. Gustin. He is the CW's version of the Flash in the CW universe. Now, a lot of folks are saying that he's going to replace him. I think that the best way to do that is to there's already Miller's version of the Flash has already made a cameo in the CW, right? So they've intermixed before, right? And so is it possible? And this is my thing that I'm thinking is that are you guys familiar with the CW's Flash?
Dude, I stopped watching after I believe it was the third season. I was only watching it because my dad was watching it, so I was like, I'll just watch it with my dad and whatever. So we kept up with it. But like after the second season, it kind of went downhill. Like I think it had like different writers, and so it kind of like lacked in a lot of aspects. You know what I mean?
No,
the story wasn't the best too.
I agree. So, like for instance, in this universe, right? The story is that Reverse Flash went back in the past to take out Flash's mom to change his timeline, right? Change his future, right? Isn't it just possible that, and this is my theories as to how they could bring in Grant's Flash without it being the Grant from the CW, right? Because there's multiple universes, right? So why not go into that original universe, that very, very first one where Grant's character, Barry Allen, doesn't lose his mom, right? Because in the original, very first one, he loses his mom. Reverse Flash goes back and changes it, right? And so everything that we know is from that point of where his mom was taken, that's how we know this Barry Allen, right? So if he were to go back and go into the original timeline, the one that first created Reverse Flash or Zoom or whatever you call him, to have gone back, Yellow Flash, to have gone back in time to have first decided to take out Barry Allen's mother. And so you go into that realm and you basically, because in that timeline, when Yellow Flash goes back and takes out Barry Allen's mom, he creates a new timeline that he doesn't get back to.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He creates a new timeline he don't get back to. So in that first original timeline, that timeline still continues. And Yellow Flash just never gets back there, right? Yeah. From my understanding. And so they can go into it that way. And the reason why you would want to go into it that way is because then you don't have to take into consideration of the 9 seasons of the CW version of the Flash, right? Because if they go into that version, then you have to take into consideration of everything else.
Yeah, all characters, man.
Right. Exactly. And so that's why I would think it'd probably be best to that would be the best way to go. And that's my theory as to if they do replace him with this character.
Yeah,
I think that's how they do it. What are your thoughts?
Oh yeah, definitely.
I think they're gonna probably see how the movie does before they even decide to even make another one.
Dude, the movie's gonna do good.
Yeah, the movie's gonna do amazing.
Regardless, man, it's gonna do good. You know, like a lot of people are gonna go. Like I said, they're gonna be because of the nostalgia of seeing Michael Keaton back as Batman. That's probably the main focus right now. I mean, not everybody's just, you know, the people who do go see it, they're not gonna be thinking about Ezra Miller and all his accusations, you know.
Yeah, right. And it might also be for the story. You know, there's a lot of questions that are left from the Justice League that maybe perhaps this movie can answer.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like you have the Flash series is ending right this May, right?
Yeah.
And the Flash movie is coming out. What is it?
June.
June. If Grant takes over that role, it'll be nice to see what they can do, what he can do with a bigger budget. You know what I mean? You're talking about there were, I think the average of season for Flash was like 50 mil,
Yeah.
and like the budget for the Justice League was like 70 million or something like that, just for the movie itself. And I'm not talking about I'm not talking about Zack Snyder's. I'm talking about the what's it called?
Original. Or
Yeah,
not the original, but the one, the theatrical that came out.
yeah, the theatrical release. So like, I mean, you could tell there's gonna be a better budget, especially if we have an actor like Grant. You know what I mean? They can play that part. He has nine seasons under his belt playing Barry Allen as a character. You know?
Yeah, but I think that he's going to have to do some transformation. I don't think he has, that super. Like when you look at superheroes on the big screen, they have a body transformation like crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Henry Cavill, all of them. I think he's going to have to go through that. I think he'll be able to do it. He's still pretty young. I think he's only 30 years old. And so he can portray a, Flash that's probably 25, 20.
Yeah.
8, somewhere around there. I'm still in the prime of Flash's career. Do you think that would be, because I think a lot of the concern is perhaps he's not as dark for the DC universe, because in the CW world it's a little bit more lighthearted. You don't think that could play a role into maybe casting somebody completely different?
Well, if you look at it this way, Ezra Miller plays the Flash a little bit kind of goofy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily he's let's say he's on a darker set, but his character itself is nerdy, goofy. He's a comedic relief. You know what I mean? At some point,
Right?
Yeah, because even in like what was it, Justice League, he was like goofy and like he wasn't the brightest superhero in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Grant can pull it off. I think the first 2 seasons of Flash was pretty awesome. You can tell like they took their time on it. And unfortunately, we're not gonna have that if they make a movie with him. I think we're gonna be a whole different director and everything, writers and everything. But I think he could pull it off. I don't think necessarily a superhero needs to be bulk and buff and whatnot. You know what I mean? It could be have what's it called, the swimmer's build. It's still
maybe, but I think that everybody expects right. But now here's one last question before we put a bow on this show. Do you think the other cast members from the CW Flash also become a part of the big DCU universe?
I don't think so. Maybe some, but not, maybe 1 or 2, but I don't think it's gonna be for maybe not a extended story on them,
Right. So it's not going to be basically a Flash CW movie.
No.
It'll be something completely different. What are your thoughts, Big Blue?
No, I think that they're gonna keep it with mainstream actors to try to keep the revenue up high.
I agree.
The CW got canceled for a reason. It was kind of getting a little plain.
Yeah, they were losing viewers.
Yeah.
That's definitely true.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes down to that, like earlier you said about bulking up, being like, they expect a bigger build on a superhero. At one point, they were considering Nicolas Cage for Superman. Remember that?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. There's no rebuttal for that. I think Grant's gonna do all right. If he were to be making his debut, I think that if he ends up coming in, if they change the ending and they somehow lose Ezra Miller, because I don't think they can continue with him in the future. But one final question: do you feel that Warner Brothers and DC is, selling their soul basically by allowing this movie to come out because of the allegations?
Unfortunately, like I said earlier, it's like, man, there's too much there was too much money involved in that movie to start scrapping this all over. It just sucks because like I said earlier too, also that there's other actors that got kicked off from from the movies they were playing for allegations that never weren't, they didn't come true. They end up finding out that they weren't true. and now it's like, oh, well, you're not guilty of it, but like we're not going to give you your role back. You know what I mean? Like that's especially in Ezra's case that you have proof, video, witnesses, and not only that, but multiple, crimes.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Well, it's like
Big Blue. Your last words.
I was gonna say it's like they spend all that money making Batgirl, you know what I mean, and they scrapped it.
Oh yeah.
But this one I think was way bigger than Batgirl. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing Brendan Fraser as the bad guy. That would have been awesome.
Yeah. And he said it was good. He said it was a good show, a good movie.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, but like I said, I'm not gonna watch this movie at the theaters. I'm gonna watch it bootleg. So I'm not gonna be giving my money away to that. So.
Yeah, thank you so much, Tia. We appreciate that. The DTS show is better than CW.
The theater down there, expensive. It is up here, man. You go to one of the something. I can't remember what movie I went to go see, and it's like, oh, it's in the whatever seating, and I was like it was like $20 a ticket just to go watch a movie.
If you guys are excited about potential our show and our acting abilities, stick around on Sunday. Our first commercial comes out on a show that we're going to be airing. It's in reference to what do you call? We did a little commercial for campaign, ad campaign, and so it's going to be airing out on Sunday in the middle of one of our shows. So stay tuned. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe. Any final words, y'all?
Man, don't roast us too much on that. Yeah. On the commercial.
No, roast us as bad as he can, dude. I want to hear the worst. Put it in the comment section.
Roast them.
Jaime, you have the major part. What are you talking about?
I know that's like the best part in there.
We'll
see.
Check it out. We'll be back in a little bit, probably about 5 hours or so. We'll talk true crime. So stick around. We'll see you later. Peace out.